Hello, it's me again. It's Back to the Basics. This is a Back to the Basics brief. Listening on the news here, listening to Jazeera English. Everybody knows that, or should know, that today marks the 1 year anniversary of the terrible Kentucky tragedy, of the late Miss Breonna Taylor. Really is a shame. So I'm going to let this source play here. Let me go ahead and make sure my volume is where it needs to be. Now, again, this source, I don't copyright infringe, but I do want you to hear, what has happened in the past year. And then again, this source is taken from Jazeera English.
Marched in memory of Breonna Taylor, who was shot dead a year ago in a botched police raid. Her name's become a rallying cry for the Black Lives Matter movement. No one has been charged over her death. Mike Hanna reports.
Protesters once again gather in Jefferson Square Park, just as they did a year ago following the police shooting of Breonna Taylor. Among them, a mother still grieving.
Every day is still March the 13th.
The anger no less than it was in the wake of the shooting.
For me, it doesn't matter what justice looks like for me. It matters for Tamika Palmer what justice looks like, and it matters what looks like justice for my daughter. I'm raising a young, beautiful, little brown girl, and I want to make sure she knows that no one can kill her and get away with it.
We got two America. We got one for Black America and one for white America. And we got to do the same. We got to get justice for all of the people in America.
After his investigation, the Kentucky Attorney General had this to say about two of the three police officers involved in the shooting.
According to Kentucky law, the use of force by Mattingly and Cosgrove was justified to protect themselves. This justification bars us from pursuing criminal charges in Miss Breonna Taylor's death.
That was, Attorney General Daniel Cameron. Mm-hmm.
The two officers were fired from the police department, and the third, Brett Hankinson, was also fired after being found guilty of firing blindly into the apartment. Breonna Taylor's killing sparked off nationwide protest and galvanized the Black Lives Matter movement as it became a major force in forging an ongoing debate about how to curb extra-legal police action. President Biden has marked the anniversary by tweeting out his condolences. Breonna Taylor's death was a tragedy, he says, a blow to her family, her community, and America. As we continue to mourn her, we must press ahead to pass meaningful police reform in Congress. I remain committed to signing a landmark reform bill into law. The reform bill is still being discussed in Congress, but has substantial opposition from Republican members in particular. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.
This is really a shame. I don't like it that Black Lives Matter, they're getting all of the credit because it seems that they only show up when, again, there's a lot of momentum. Because it wasn't like, Autos wasn't a part of, as far as activism goes. And we all know that some of us, I shouldn't say everybody knows, but certain people all know that, Black Lives Matter, like the person behind that, George Soros. Yeah, well, if you didn't know now you know. Those officers who did get fired, okay, getting fired is one thing, but they could literally go relocate and become a police officer somewhere else. They should have been stripped of their credentials so that they will never, ever be able to be police officers again. Daniel Cameron, Attorney General Daniel Cameron, of course, you heard him. He got up there. Well, it was justified. Okay. Kenneth Walker shot off one warning shot, and then after that, all hell broke loose. There were a good 20 plus rounds shot. Now, you heard the gentleman, the reporter who was reporting from Al Jazeera. That one officer shot blindly, didn't care. And what if other residents, it wasn't like, they're that's in an apartment complex. So what if somebody else would have got injured or whatever? If this is what they teach in the police academy, then, might as well just don't modify the material in the instruction. You need to just scratch all that and just pretty much start from the drawing board, if that's what police are taught in the academy. Somebody shoots off a warning shot again. And again, if they had announced themselves, Mr. Kenneth Walker probably would not have shot off that warning shot. And I'm not even going to get into what happened with David McAtee, because that also included the Kentucky National Guard. We're not even going to go there. We haven't approached the 1-year anniversary of that killing. But anyway, I was just watching the news this morning, and that was the 1-year update as far as what's going on. And all I gotta say is, as far as Black Lives Matter, oh yeah, it started off, it seemed to be for the people, but we know that people have come out. Okay, they have all this money. What is it, like 90 million? People are asking, hey, people are starting to ask questions. Okay, all that money's going on over there. What are they doing with the money? $90 million. Where is the money going to? What's being done with the money? Is there any type of anything going on? Programs, infrastructure, land, something, jobs, opportunity. What is going on with all these millions of dollars that Black Lives Matter has? These are just some questions that I do believe that we, need to explore. Because as far as Black Lives Matter, it just seems that there's a lot of clout chasing going on up in here. Yet you got people who are just clout chasing. There's nothing wrong. Hey, go out there, protest, do what you got to do. But for certain ones in that movement, not everybody in Black Lives Matter is about clout chasing. But for certain ones, that movement has been infiltrated. And in fact, a person could argue that movement, it was never for Black people from the beginning. So a person might argue, well, you can't infiltrate something that was already, compromised from the beginning. It was already, it was just a wolf in sheep clothing, as some might say. But anyway, that's the update as far as the officers, because again, someone being fired, no, strip them of everything. No, they're going to have to get another job. They're not going to be a police officer or get reassigned or be able to just move and then just go to another police department. And that goes for the ones who took down David McAtee. I mean, literally, y'all told the man, hey, you need to protect yourself out here. There's protests. That gentleman was very well known in the community, not just by the the Louisville Metropolitan Police Department. He was very well known in that community. That was a tragedy. He was simply responding because they were using pellet guns on people, and people were starting to run towards his business, and that also included his niece. He was simply responding in an attempt to protect his niece. But you see, the news sources are not going to tell you that. They're just going to say, well, David McAtee, he it was justified for him being taken down. Again, he got off one shot. He was in the middle of cooking a burger, and then that was it. It really is a shame. Well, but anyway, this has been a Back to the Basics brief. Happy Sunday to you. I hope everyone is doing well. I have already done my material on, Miss Breonna Taylor. Just wanted to do just a short update. I love you as a sister. I don't really enjoy at times highlighting certain things, but it's been a year, and that there should be an update on what's going on. My heart goes out to her family, to Mr. Kenneth Walker, who really attempted to, protect her, and was unsuccessful. Yeah. Peace and blessings. And may the Supreme Being, the Most High, Allah, whomever you want to call the Supreme Being, lead, guide, and protect your footsteps. I'm gone.